Okay, we're gonna start like usually with the steering system parts. So we got 12 parts. 12 parts. You start from up to down. Steering wheel, steering column, it's here. Steering wheel, steering column. Steering wheel shaft. Universal joint, U-joint. Steering gearbox. pt.1 arm. Castle nut and cutter pin. Drag link. Steering ring knuckle.
Which one?
This one.
Okay. Where is the C-clamp? Show me, because I...
Wait. This is steering system parts. We're gonna come to that. That's
Okay.
the suspension.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Okay. Spindle is inside. You don't see spindle. And we got steering arms all the way down and tie rod. Okay. So after he's gonna ask you a question how to inspect these parts. So how you gonna do inspection? You start with steering wheel. Free play with the engine on. We're gonna check free play, right? Should be no more than 2 inch or 10 degree and 20 inch steering wheel. Okay, so how the steering wheel gotta look? Gotta be in good condition, properly mounted. In the middle we found what? Electrical or city horn. And this model of the truck also is air horn and a steering wheel. So don't forget that.
Yeah,
So air horn we use just when we use the air horn.
Just an emergency.
Just in an emergency and a highway. Okay, so there are 2 horns. Steering column. You have to say a couple words how to inspect steering column. Properly mounted, no damage. Steering wheel shaft should be properly greased with no damage. Universal joint
should be greased again.
should be well greased. It's very important. No damage. Steering gearbox
Properly mounted. No bended, no damage.
properly mounted, no missing bolts, no leaks of steering power fluid. It's inside. So make sure it's no leaks. It's very important, steering gearbox. All the other parts, you can say in generally, pt.1 arm, drag link, all other parts, properly mounted, properly greased, no missing parts, good condition. That's how you inspect steering system parts. So next question is front suspension. Front suspension. So first you're gonna give me the parts.
Frame.
Frame, hanger.
Universal.
This is frame, this is hanger.
Leaf spring.
Leaf springs, U-bolts,
And cover. There's a federal in there. Right on the
C-clamps, they are not on this truck.
Not on this truck?
Yeah, but you gotta manage the C-clamps. They come here usually like ring.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but we don't have on this truck C-clamps. But you have to mention it.
And one more thing, I have a question. Saddle. What is the saddle?
Saddle is here, you see, below
Ah.
U-bolts.
Yeah, okay.
This part is saddle. Axle,
Axle, saddle.
hydraulic shock absorber.
And a spring shackle.
Spring shackle is on
Another
an end of, you don't see from here, yeah.
spring. End of the spring.
End of leaf springs. So connecting between leaf springs and hanger. Okay, so after you said these parts, of course he's gonna ask you how you're gonna inspect front suspension parts. So you start again from up with the frame.
When it's not bent, no welding. Just only outside.
Frame, yeah, no bends or cracks,
No
yeah,
cracks.
no welding,
No welding.
only authorized welding.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Hanger properly mounted.
Hangers properly mounted, no missing bolts. Spring leaves, some specific things about spring leaves.
Yes, we have
No
four-
twisted, no cracks.
Yeah.
If is one of four broken, that means 25%, you are out of service. So that's specific things about spring leaves. Hydraulic shock absorber,
No leaks.
yeah, so no leaks. So make sure, because inside is oil. Yeah, no rust. You can say no rust. Properly mounted to the frame. U-bolts, saddle, axle, C-clamps. In general, you can just say no damage, properly mounted, no missing parts. Everything gotta be in good condition. That's how you inspect front suspension. Okay, so now we're gonna trailer suspension. So don't mix that. This is front suspension, rear suspension. Okay, same thing almost. We start with the frame, hangers, leaf springs, C-clamps,
Everything the same.
U-bolts, saddle, axle, bearing plates, auxiliary leaf spring, hydraulic shock absorber, and airbag or air bellow. It's here, so this is the different part than on the front. It's the airbag or air bellow. Okay. Yeah, air bellow. Airbag. So rear suspension parts inspection is the same like front suspension. Just we got that air bellow. How are you gonna inspect the air bellow?
No cut, no damage, it's properly mounted, especially no air leaks right here.
Yes, very good. So no cut,
See?
no damage, properly mounted, no air leak. No air leak. That's the specific thing. So everything else, hydraulic shock absorber and frame, and you inspect the same like front one. Okay, so now we go to the trailer. Got all same parts like on a front suspension or rear suspension, just three parts are different. So you start with the frame, hangers, spring leaves, U-bolts, saddle, axle, and we got now three parts. And this is torque rod. This is the torque rod. Oh, actually, sorry.
Tension bar.
Tension bar.
It's tension bar. Yeah. So,
Tension bar, stabilizing bar and torque.
okay. Tension bar, stabilizer bar, and torque rod. Okay. So that three parts are very important. The purpose of this part is to keep frame and trailer straight, to keep the balance. Tension bar is also adjustable, so you can adjust the tension bar. So that's like for alignment, trailer alignment. So don't forget these three parts are very important. Inspection of this suspension is the same like we did in the front. Okay. So now, something about wheels. Tires. What is the most important from tires?
Thread separation.
Okay, so no cuts, no bubbles.
It's
No.
evenly
100
squared.
psi air pressure.
Air pressure,
No mixed size.
100 psi, that's good. Same size and same kind, same axle, right? No thread separation. what is the tread separation? That's just in case if the tires are recaps.
Yeah.
You cannot have tread separation in the front because they are original. So make sure it's not, this tread is not separate. So no tread separation. All right.
Right here. In the tires.
Yeah. The tread dip on the front, 4/32 of inch. Tread dip. This is a tread dip. And tread dip on the rear tires, at least 2/32 of inch. Okay. So tires must be radial or bias. Don't forget that. Sometimes they ask you that question. So you got that in your sheet, radial or bias. Between dual tires, the space, free space, gotta be at least 3 inches. So make sure it's no stones or rocks or whatever between dual tires, some object. Okay, so all right, so that's when you say free space, that's make sure that the tires don't touch it. Pretty much we covered everything about tires. What about
The rims, no bend.
rims?
No bend, no crack. No
You got 3 things to say: no bends, no cracks, no welding. Very good. What about hub? This is hub. This is rims. So what are you gonna tell me about hub?
No leak.
No leaks,
No missing
oil,
All the lug nuts
no
are
missing axle seal. Axle seal is from behind. You cannot see from inside. So if it's axle seal missing, you're gonna have an oil leak. Okay, make sure the oil level is to the half. If you don't see through the glass here, then you open the cap and check with the finger. It's very important to have oil level. Okay, what about lug nuts?
all are present. No missing.
All lug nuts must be present, no missing. They gotta be tight. No rust around lug nuts. If it's rust, that's mean what?
It's loose.
They are loose. Good. What about steam valve? Let's see,
The
where's
valve
the
thing?
steam valve? Here. There's the steam valve or air valve. So what about air valve? What we gonna say? So make sure it's no air leak from the
And
valve.
the cap is on.
Make sure the cap is present,
And it's not touching the rim.
not touching the rim. Good. That's about steam valve. Okay, what is this here? Mud guard or splash guard. So make sure it's not missing and there's no damage on that. All right. So now we're gonna do the question number 1 is how the air brake system works. So this question you gotta know word by word. So don't do like Mr. Cameraman.
Sorry.
Air compressor is here. Okay, that's the air compressor. See this part, the blue part? This is governor, that silver part here. That's the governor. So compressor governor. So air compressor pump air through the, see this line, that's air line. So air compressor pump air to the air lines in to the air storage tanks. They are here. Here. Air storage tanks. Each tank is equipped with a drain valve.
That's a manual.
There's the manual, yeah. So the driver must at the end of each day drain the tanks like this. See? Because inside is condensation of water. The first tank has safety valve. This is the safety valve. Safety valve is to protect air system from too much pressure. Okay, so it's gonna open on 150 psi. The governor control the pressure in the tanks. So the governor is gonna cut in on 100 psi, and governor is over there. I just showed you. It's exactly on compressor. You see this silver part? There's the governor. So he controls compressor. He's gonna cut out on 100. Cut in on 100 and cut out 125.
25, right.
Okay. So how are you gonna know the governor cut out?
You heard the sound.
You're gonna hear the sound behind you here from the air dryer. So you're gonna hear the sound like psst. That's the
drain valve too?
That's automatic one.
Yeah.
So some trucks they got one extra automatic drain valve. Yeah.
Is the switch on with water?
Yeah. So they drain automatic. Okay. So now, what happened when driver pressed the brake pedal? So we can see that. The best we can see that on a look. When driver pressed the brake pedal, air traveled through the air lines. This is the air lines into the brake chamber. Brake chamber is here. So filling it with the air and pushing out the push rod. Push rod pushing slack adjuster. Slack adjuster spin S-cam shaft. And the end of S-cam shaft is S-cam here inside. So S-cam also spin and push apart S-cam rollers. Attached to the S-cam rollers are brake shoes. So brake shoes rub into the brake drum. This is the brake drum, creating friction and stopping the vehicle. When driver take the foot from the brake pedal, so return spring is here, pull away brake shoes from the brake drums and wheels can roll freely. That's how the brakes works. So don't forget that all these parts are the most important. So now we're gonna do inspection of these brake parts. So when you inspect brake parts, you start with the air hose. So you have to measure that all these hoses gotta be at least 18 inch from the ground. So at least 18 inch from the ground. Make sure there's no leaks of air, especially from the connectors here. Brake chamber. Make sure it's properly mounted and no air leak from the brake chamber. No bends or damage. Push rod, no damage. And make sure the slack adjuster, it's very important. Make sure the slack adjuster don't have a free play no more than 1 inch. So how you gonna check that? You're gonna do that slack adjuster test. You're gonna park vehicle on a level ground. You're gonna chock the wheels. You're gonna start the engine. You're gonna build the pressure 125 psi. You're gonna secure vehicle in the first or low gear. You're gonna turn engine off. Push to release tractor parking brake. Push to release trailer emergency brake. Then you're gonna put the key in a pocket. You're gonna go out below trailer. So you're gonna adjust just trailer slack adjuster. So how you're gonna do that? You're gonna mark the push rods here to see how much they're gonna move. So and you're gonna pull on a slack adjuster back and forth. If they move more than 1 inch, then it means they need adjustment. So adjust with a wrench with adjusting nut. So you're gonna turn, this is adjusting nut. With a wrench you're gonna turn adjusting nut clockwise all the way in and half turn back. That's how you adjust lock adjust. Inspect another parts. It's this way. So brake shoes are and brake drums. So make sure the brake shoes don't have oil inside. Make sure the brake pad,
Are not thin.
it's minimum thickness at least 1/4 inch. This is the brake pad. The whole thing is brake shoes, okay? Brake pad is this. Okay, so make sure the brake drums don't have a damage, no cracks, no oil inside. Make sure the return spring is not broken, and all other parts here are in good condition and no missing. Okay, so this is very important. So that's the question number one on the testing how the air brake system works. Rear lights. So rear lights, we have a 4, 2 and 2. On the other side we have a 4 tail lights. So don't forget, this is tail lights, which 2 outside, this one, another one, got a 3 function. Turn signals, 4-way flashes, and parking lights. 2 inside, they are brake lights. So on the rear they are red. Make sure they're working properly. It's no damage, no cracks on the lights. Also we got here 3 ID lights, identification lights. They are also red in color and they indicate the height of the vehicle is at least 8 feet. And license plate light. Gotta be clean in color, working properly, no damage. It's important. Some trailers we don't have on this one. They got clearance light, 2 on a corner, so they indicate that standard height of the trailer is 13 feet and 6 inches. This is reflective tape or reflectors. So, and this here, reflectors. This DOT bumper, Department of Transportation bumper, is to prevent small cargo under the trailer. And one more light here on the side, it's marker light. This is marker lights. So whatever you got light from the side, they are the marker lights. So they mark your vehicle. Okay, that's about rear light. Landing legs. All right, so make sure the crank handle is secure. See? Make sure the landing legs go all the way down in the same time from both sides. And make sure before you go that the legs are all the way up. No damage, gotta be properly greased here. Gotta be safe distance between legs and wheels. Okay, that's about fifth wheel. All this part here is fifth wheel, including this up. This is the fifth wheel platform. So make sure no space between
Upper and lower fifth wheel.
yeah, between trailer and fifth wheel. So, and make sure the platform is properly greased because of steering problems. You can have a steering problems if the platform is not properly greased. If fifth wheel is sliding, which this one is sliding, so make sure the sliding pins are locked. See this? This is the sliding pin. make sure it's locked. Okay. The release hand must be all the way in. This is the release hand. Release hand. Here, the safety pin. Gotta have a cutter pin. See? That's the safety pin. Gotta have a cutter pin. The locking jaws. You can go down to see locking jaws. So inside there are locking jaws. You will see if I pull this hand out. See that moving part? That's the locking jaws. They gotta be locked completely around.